Text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Friday afternoon to you. And yes, it is time for the McFarland Show. Darren McFarland here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio on this rainy, dreary, cold Friday. Hope everybody's having a good day. The other half of the show, Justin McFarland, is going to join us in March. Oh, wait a minute. It is March. So he's here. He's in studio with us. Adam Johnson is alongside for the ride for the next 2 hours. He is back.
Management in the building. Love to see that.
Yeah, DJ Damon got the heck out of town. He said, "Oh, you're going to go out of town? Well, I'm going out of town too."
Okay.
Going south.
Well, that's only fair.
Going to go warmer.
Yeah, I've been south too. Yeah.
Both of you went warmer.
Yeah, I was way south. But
well,
yeah,
actually, the beginning of the week, as you've seen the weather patterns here, it's like mid-70s.
Yeah.
Oh, mid-40s.
Yeah, winter. It is still here.
Right.
This is just a reminder.
Yeah.
The winter still in season right now.
Yeah. So we got a great show for you. Bonnie Jill Laughlin, excuse me, is going to be in studio with us here in about 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to talking to her. She's in town. We'll tell you why. And then we're going to just kick back and get into a lot of stuff today because you've been out all week.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of catching up to do.
Yes, sir.
The combine is going on. The big news up in Indianapolis, Marvin Harrison Jr., no show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone?
His show is the tape.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Marvin? Anyone? Marvin? No, not here. Marvin? No, I don't see any Marvins. But it was weird and awkward today because I've been watching NFL Network. Like they were, a lot of people have been speaking. We'll hear some clips from some guys who spoke today to the media, wide receivers today, quarterbacks today, defensive linemen, I think today. Anyways, we'll hear some of that in just a bit, but they were waiting for Marvin Harrison. It's not like they said, hey, just a heads up, he's not going to be here. You're not going to talk. No, like they had his name tag, and then he was nowhere to be found. And then they had to come out and like switch the nameplate to Drake May.
You think he shows up and says, my father's name is in the rafters here. So, they retired the 88 here. I don't have a whole lot to say here. I think, my name speaks for itself as far as what's happening in this building. So I decided, that I really couldn't top anything that he's done or said. So I decided I just want to hold myself until the draft.
Every year when the two of us were in the press box covering the Titans-Colts game, when they would come to town, me, I had to branch off a lot of times because I had to cover the winning locker room.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Peyton Manning did have success here that I had to venture off into the Colts locker room.
Yes.
And I would tell you that they said today at the Combine, hey, just talk to his dad. But I know from experience
that they didn't say that.
From covering the Colts, that dad never talked.
No, he didn't.
Dad was never seen in the Colts locker room.
Dad talked on the field.
Dad did all of his talking on the field. Dad didn't speak.
Yeah.
At least not to my knowledge. In all the years that they came here, Marvin Harrison was probably on the bus first.
Probably.
Because I never saw him in the Colts locker room. No one ever spoke of him. It's like he didn't exist. Although he just had 8 catches for 133 yards and a touchdown on the field at then LP Field. But he did not speak to media.
I don't know about you, Darren, because you were there a little bit longer than I was. But the best catch I ever saw in that stadium was Marvin Harrison. And the one-handed catch over the middle. And I don't know what year it was one of those catches that took everybody in the stadium's breath away. Quite literally. Everyone said when he pulled this thing in, it was a one-handed circus catch over the middle of the field that was just absolutely spectacular, and it was the best catch I ever saw during my 8 or 9 seasons covering the Titans. So, but back to today's subject, which is Marvin Harrison Jr. This is what happens when the tape is solidified. And this is something we're going to have to get into at some point, because what's going to happen is once these athletes get to the point to where their tape is solidified, they feel like they've done enough, we're not going to see them.
We're not going to be at the combine.
We're not going to see them in, first of all, it's the bowl games. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to see them in the bowl games. Then we're not going to see them during pro days. We're not going to see them at the combine. We're not going to see them doing interviews. We're not gonna, unless they make this a requirement of some type in order to get drafted, that you have to fulfill these things. We're not going to see these guys anymore until draft night. And that's just the way it's going to be. And if anybody doesn't like it, it's too bad. You need to petition someone about what they need to do. But that's where we are. And it started with the bowl game. The minute they started letting them not participate in bowl games, now we're not doing pro days. Now we're not doing the combine. Now we're not showing up for interviews. Well, what if they don't want to take the test anymore? And we want to do all this, because people get bad marks in the test.
That's already out there, by the way.
So we're not taking the test.
Because it gets leaked, and the ones that test poorly, they don't want that.
Now it's
shame.
Now it's held against me for the rest of my not for the draft, for the rest of my career. It's held against me. So just forget about it. Just I'm not doing it, and we'll see you on draft night when I put on a baseball cap.
Yep, fair enough. All right, we'll come back to this in just a bit because, like I said, we'll hear some more audio from Indianapolis at the Combine. Kevin, our buddy Kevin, on our text line, listening down in Florida, said 2 weeks ago it was doom and gloom for the media after the 9-2 beatdown from the Dallas Stars. Now it's been 7 straight wins. Pretty nice for the Preds.
Yes.
7 straight after the win last night against Minnesota. John Hines back in the building. The Wild get the first goal. All Predators after that. They've won 7 in a row. The trading deadline is 1 week from today. And it is great, Kevin. But as I've said on the show many times,
man.
This winning streak for me doesn't mean anything. Doesn't change the approach at all for Barry Trotz, in my opinion.
We're going to get into it later because I've got so many things I want to say to you
about
about
right,
this. Okay.
You better sell, but that's just me.
All right.
I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
Why are you laughing? Because
I'm laughing.
They're making it difficult for Barry Trotz?
Well, are they? Are they making it difficult for Barry Trotz?
Because if they went 2-5 in those 7 games, we all know what would be happening.
So, but my question is then, why hasn't the trade already happened? The trade deadline, and this is a real question. In the NHL, do they always wait up until the deadline to make the deals?
Most. I mean, we're a week away. We're a week away. So next week, you'll start seeing things
Is that when
happening.
we start to see the flurry? Will be next week?
Yeah.
Because to me, if you knew you were going to do it, then why haven't you already done it?
Well, because the price isn't right.
All right.
I think Barry's trying to drive up the price by his comments last week.
Okay.
Or this week, excuse me.
Okay. I'm just saying, it shouldn't be uncomfortable. The 7-game win streaks are come and go across all sports. It doesn't matter.
Especially over 82 games.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. Win streaks come and go. I just wonder, if it's not making it difficult, then he should already have made his decision. You're a week out. The decision's already been made at this point. It's just where is he going to go?
Well, it just, again, depends on what the market is offering. Right now, I don't think the market is offering enough.
But you think he should go regardless?
No, not regardless. If the price isn't right, no, I don't think they should give him away or anyone away. I believe if prices are right, you sell, you trade. But if they're not, you don't. I'm not saying Barry Trotz should be in the business of giving away players.
I don't think anyone's asking him to. Well, okay. He shouldn't be in the. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, over the years, it doesn't matter whether it's hockey, it's football, it's basketball, it's baseball. You need one general manager to do what? Cave. That's all you need. You need one team. And they usually always do. Usually. Because there's always one desperate team that says, we're that guy away from getting to the promised land.
Okay.
And so we're willing to do it. A week ago, I wasn't willing to do it. Now, time's ticking. Oh, my gosh, the deadline's almost up. Oh, my gosh, we're hours away. Let's do it.
But does the win streak make it harder for Barry Trotz to trade it? Do other teams, they see the win streak and they go, you sure you want to give this guy away right now? Or, how does that play into this? Does it play into it?
He's on a heater right now.
Okay.
That should be a good thing.
It should be. But, now you're asking, do I want to mess up the chemistry of the team and all that by making this particular maneuver? And how are the fans going to react? To me, Barry Trotz should have already made this decision. He knows. He's a big boy. He understands all of this.
Well, maybe he has. But again, the price isn't right.
To me, the decision's been made.
I agree.
It's just what are you getting for him?
Well, but the decision he may be holding, standing pat for all we know. We don't know.
And we don't know.
You're right. Behind the scenes, decisions have been made.
Yeah.
Like what direction are they going?
Yes. Whether they're going to keep him or sell him, that decision's already been made.
That decision's been made.
So now it's just, they're waiting for the rest of us to find out. You think he's still going to be sold?
I don't know that. No, I'm saying I would. You wouldn't change my mind.
If you got the right price.
Why does my seat keep falling down?
Am
I gaining weight during this segment?
I don't know.
Okay, I keep getting further and further down.
We need to get readjusted.
All right.
We have guests here.
We do.
Okay.
All right, you ready to go to the break?
I think we should.
We should. And I should adjust
seat and we got to adjust
my chair.
Things. We got things.
Bunny Jill Laughlin is in studio. She will join us next here in the Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio. We're happy we have a roof today because it's cold outside and it's rainy. Hope everybody's having a good day. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. More of the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
Hi, I'm Jeff Fisher. Guess what? The Cats are back. The Nashville Cats will be returning to the Municipal Auditorium on April 27th in the season opener against the Minnesota Myth. There will be 5 total games played at Municipal Auditorium with 1 additional game played up in Clarksville at F&M Bank Arena on Armed Forces Day on Saturday, May 18th. For player or dance team tryouts or tickets, log on to thenashvillecats.com.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Kentucky. First online real money wager, only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Maybe it's a overreaction on Monday, but I'm going to, moving forward, for me, pump the brakes a little bit on Kyle Shanahan. He's got to do it to be included as he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. Now, right now, I would say Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in the NFL, and he's one of the best coaches of all time.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNS.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Rolling along on this Friday afternoon, Darren McFarland and Justin McFarland. We're live in the Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio. Don't forget, every day you can watch the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And you can interact with us on our YouTube page, WNSR Live, one word, and you can interact with us. Adam Johnson is alongside for the ride as well. And Justin, welcome back, who's been out all week.
Thank you.
Good timing, by the way. We have a guest in studio.
I see.
You know,
I came back. I was wondering. I was like, "Why is it so clean in here?" I said, "Boy, they've straightened up while I was out. This is awesome."
It was all for you.
It was. I said I felt so special that I
wait a
realized.
yeah, Bonnie Joe Laughlin's here. So
has nothing to do
it
with
may
me
have
at all.
been for her.
Yes,
but we wanted you to feel special too.
yeah, I feel special regardless. It's okay.
Bonnie, welcome to Nashville. How you doing?
Thank you. I always love being in Nashville, and I had so much fun at the game last night. I was there at the Predators game, and it was a blast. I mean, I know it was a blowout, but it was still fun for me.
Well, and they're on a little bit of a heater right now. They've won 7 in a row. So you actually heard that conversation last segment. So you were telling us during the break that was your first. Was that your first Predator? That wasn't your first hockey game.
No.
It was your first Predators game.
Yes, first Preds game, and I had so much fun. And the Predators organization, class act, everyone there, the way they just rolled out the red carpet and the hospitality of the whole, I don't know. It was great. I had so much fun.
Tell our listeners what you got to do, which was really cool downstairs.
Is there actually a name for it? But I got to open the door, and then I got to do the fist bumps.
You mean where they come out?
Come to the locker room.
Because for people who are unfamiliar, if you've been down to the place that I love, is the Lexus Lounge.
It's got all the good food and drinks.
It is the place to be. But the players go through, it's roped off, but the players go through, down the tunnel, through the Lexus Lounge and out onto the ice. So people down the Lexus Lounge can sit there and fist bump and high five and take pictures. But you got to open the door where they come out of the locker room.
I did.
To go down the hall.
Right. And then you do the little fist bumps. And I was like a little kid. I actually had fun doing it.
But that's cool because you've done all this stuff. So, I mean, you've been around athletes.
But I've never done that.
But you've never done that.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. I've been to a lot of hockey games. I don't cover hockey. I cover all the other sports. But I love going to games live. But actually being able to do that, I was like, this is kind of neat. Now I feel like I need to do it every game. Though.
Yeah. Well,
now I just want to drive the Zamboni. And then I'm good.
Well, hang out.
Wait, you want to drive?
Yes, because I can drive a tractor and I can drive a snowplow. So I think I can do the Zamboni.
I don't know if I could drive it. Do you think you could drive a Zamboni?
I'm sure I could figure it out if I needed to, but
is it clutch?
No, I don't think so.
Is it automatic?
It's got like a hand thing.
Or is it manual?
But what Bonnie may be unaware of is all those things you just mentioned go down Broadway with music and people drinking on the back of them. So if you don't get to do that at Bridgestone Arena,
you can do it on Broadway.
You can do it outside, right outside Bridgestone Arena on Broadway, where they have all of those things, literally all those things you just named. Going down Broadway. I don't know if you've seen them, but they have quite a few.
I have seen a couple of them going through.
An assortment
but
of
I
things.
want to do the Zamboni.
Yes.
Like, that's like a thing. And they always let you sit there maybe and wave. But I want to actually drive it.
Yeah, you get to be the passenger in your wave.
Right, but then I don't want to be responsible because someone tears their ACL. Because
Yeah,
I don't even ice or
it has
something.
a purpose, so they need it to do what it's out there to do for regulation of the game.
But I had a blast. So
That's
much fun.
awesome.
Like, I want to come back. Yeah.
Well,
but can you tell me something? They gave me like a jersey and a hat, and then they gave me a catfish.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the little catfish guy for?
They probably didn't throw one on the ice last night, but
no.
It's typically for the playoffs. Okay. But it does happen. Like I think this year, maybe sometimes like opening night, it's a tradition. Somebody throws a catfish on the ice.
If you're familiar with,
there's several catfish.
If you're familiar with the tradition in Detroit,
well, I know the squid and
with the octopus.
This is the Nashville version thereof.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I thought so, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to be sure.
Yes.
So if they get in the playoffs for the home games, you will see catfish on the ice before the puck drop.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Well, I have a stuffed animal catfish.
And people stick a catfish down their pants or however they sneak it in, and then
they have to sneak it into
like,
the presence of outlaw.
Like, I don't even want to know how that happens, but it happens.
They have to,
Okay.
I know how it happens, but yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we did a whole thing on it over on Fox.
We'll have to talk. Okay. So They gave you a cat? What did they give you? They gave you a catfish?
Stuffed animal, not like a
Okay, yeah. All
not,
right.
not one for throw on the ice. No.
So that's cool. That a little history lesson
and then
on
the
the press.
Smashville hat, and they gave me a lot of cool
Oh, yeah.
stuff. Very like local Nashville stuff. 'Cause I was
Awesome.
like, and I loved it.
That is
It
great.
was so much fun.
How long you've been in town? Yesterday and then today,
Yeah,
and then
so
you're
just,
out?
yeah, and then I'm back to Dallas.
Okay. I do want to start with you on just your journey, because years ago, before the Predators gig, I told you that I used to do their pre and post, but I used to go cover the Super Bowl every year. Radio Row.
Same,
spend the
yeah,
whole
we
week.
probably saw each other then at some point.
Well, somebody in 2012, in fact, this was the last Super Bowl that I covered, because then I started doing the Predators gig, was down in New Orleans. It was for the Ravens and the 49ers.
Ah, yes, I was there.
And I got to know, you know how Radio Row works, and you know, they run people through there, and I'm just sitting there doing interview after interview.
Yeah.
But I got to know a little bit, and that's where I first met her, and we had a blast. You know, you get those interviews where you're like, I didn't see that coming, and then you remember it because it was like really cool. It was Michelle Beisner,
Okay.
who is now
Yes,
Michelle Beisner Buck.
Yep.
Married to Joe Buck, and she was a former Broncos cheerleader.
She was.
And she told her whole story, and I was just blown away by it, right? Like, and then here she is working at the time for the NFL Network,
Mm-hmm.
and now she's on ESPN. Well, that's how it started, you know, former Cowboys, 49ers.
And Warriors. Warriors,
well,
Niners.
right.
If you want to go in the order, Warriors, Niners, Cowboys.
So you
Yeah.
started in the NBA and then the NFL, and then that's how your journey is. That's how it all began.
That's how
correct?
it started, yeah. But then
So,
I didn't
like-
just drop the pom-poms and go right into scouting. But yes, that's kind of where I first started, was with the Golden State Warriors. And I was 17, still, you know, in high school, senior in high school, and went to the 49ers, and Steve Young finally got that monkey off his back and won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they
Jerry
won the
Rice.
Super
And they
Bowl.
just, remember, I don't know if you remember, they destroyed the Chargers in
Yes.
Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And then-
95.
yeah, which they haven't won one since. They've been back 3 times, but haven't won one since. And then went to the Dallas Cowboys, and same time as Deion Sanders, so they called me the prime time of the sidelines.
Did you know when they won the Super Bowl? I mean, we've got a trend here.
Yes.
Is Bonnie like
I'm a
goes and they
winner.
win Super Bowls and then they don't win?
Yeah, I'm a winner.
Since.
Do you get
Wow.
Super Bowl rings?
I
Do they give you the rings
Yeah.
there? Now that's really
Yeah.
cool.
So Eddie D was the first NFL owner to give rings to the cheerleaders.
Oh wow.
And then he kind of started the trend. I think the Broncos and the Patriots might have, but yeah, he was the first one. And he let us go to the ring ceremony, and he was great. He let us really be part of the team, not just the fluff, you know, on the sidelines.
So
That's impressive.
when that ended, that's why
Incredible.
I'm always curious. Like, so that's where it all starts, and then it morphs into all this other stuff. So how did you know when was the right time for the jumping off point, and you know how to go down the next path?
Yeah, I knew that I always wanted to have, you know, a job, a role, something in sports since I was a little girl. You know, being a daddy's girl, going to all the games. He had season tickets for Warriors and Niners and Giants, and so I was always going to the games. Knew that I wanted to. You know, I wasn't like the typical kid who just was, you know, there for the you know, popcorn and stuff. Like, I actually loved watching the game, asking my dad questions, and then yeah. So from my cheerleader days, you know, networking is so important in our industry. So I was able to network, and then I was able to start working into broadcasting and media. Got my degree, you know, doing that, and went and worked for Cold Pizza, which is actually First Take.
Oh my
ESPN.
gosh.
I don't know if people know that. It's
Absolutely.
called
Oh
Cold
my
Pizza.
gosh.
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I remember.
Cold pizza.
I do.
Man.
I don't think a lot of people
was
know
a
it was called
big,
Cold
big
Pizza.
No,
deal.
it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That was the
very
morning show
different.
on
Yes.
ESPN.
It's
Yes.
very different at the time. Everybody was like, "Is this really gonna work?"
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, hi, I'm the key demographic you were aiming for at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like, well, what do you think? You know, it's different because people don't realize back then they were doing reruns of Sports Center
Yeah.
forever.
Yes.
Forever.
For, you know, doing reruns
One
of Sports
after
Center
another,
for,
yeah.
you know, 7-8 hours. And they were looking for something a little different there. And then you're right, it turned from Cold Pizza, eventually became First Take, you know, and you know, turned into the franchise it's become now.
Yeah.
So, which has sparked a whole nother generation of all kinds of things that we don't
Right.
have time to go down that rabbit hole. But it
was fun too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was a correspondent. I would go into New York and fly in, and that's when they were really trying to be like a little forward thinking and kind of go outside the box, and like Justin said, but it was fun.
They
Yeah.
definitely did that. They did stuff that you didn't. So what? Dana Jacobson
Yes.
was on there.
Yes.
Chris, the one from Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah, I just forgot
Chris-
his name.
Oh my gosh, I'm
blanking
so
on it. I'm
mad.
sorry. I can see it
I
in my
feel
mind.
bad.
I close my eyes. I
No,
can still see the
and right when you
promos.
said Cleveland,
Chris from Cleveland, Ohio. Anyway, and he's on MLB Network.
Chris Rose.
Chris Rose. Thank
Chris
you.
Rose.
Thank
I
you.
had a blank and then
Well
I got
done.
it. Yes.
Well done.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, by the way, let me just tell you about Bonnie. She's got a book, In a League of Her Own, celebrating females first in sports. So you're obviously going to talk about a lot of journeys in your book, but your journey led you to be first female NBA scout.
Yeah.
So, we got to know, how does all that happen? That's
So I was
such
in
a huge
media
deal.
for a long time, and I was actually covering the Lakers, doing their pre and post for KCBS, which is the flagship at
Was
the
this
time.
when they were winning championships too?
Yeah, they were about to. Yeah, it was
Golly.
when they were moving. Remember, from the Forum to Staples Center. Well, now Crypto. I hate calling it
If
Crypto.
the Predators or Titans are listening to this, you might want to hire Bonnie because teams win when she's working
Still
with
looking
them.
for the parade.
Yeah, right.
Still trying to get that first big one here.
I've been to a lot of parades. It's fun. You'll like it, Justin.
We still want
you'll
one.
get it.
We're still looking for. Well, technically we had one, but not the real one, not the one we want to have here. So
Right.
we'll see.
So then, I was able to cover the team, and then the late Dr. Jerry Buss, Mitch Kupchak, Jerry West, Phil, all of them. They kind of saw that I had an eye for talent. So the first year I did it, wasn't getting paid, just kind of showing my scouting reports, and then they really liked how detailed I was. I was actually writing a lot, where some of the scouts would just put long, athletic. That was it. I actually wrote a lot, and then they liked my reports, and then I was there for almost 13 years and got 5 rings.
All right. Wow. That's quite a collection.
Yeah.
All right. I want to get into your book here just a little bit here in A League of Her Own. And I've seen the list here of all the different female athletes that you went over. And I'm very curious about how you chose the list of people that you did. And also just wanted to mention a couple of people who are not here on your list, but are notable female athletes and figures from right here in Tennessee. Of course, the late, great Coach Summit, Pat Summit, of course. And, of course, we can't forget Wilma Rudolph, of course, the great Olympian, who's also from here in Tennessee. And I'm curious, you don't have those two, and, rightfully so. And I understand there's a lot of different people. How did you put together this list of both athletes and executives?
It was hard first, because Justin, I only had 9 months. So trying to get everyone, because people don't realize, I had to interview these athletes. Then I had to also transcribe. Then I had to write. Then they had me do
Why
rewrites.
9 months?
Because I got the book deal, and then they were off running. So
Wow.
it was pretty 9 months, and then a year before it actually, they had the deadline for the real edit. But still 9 months to turn it in.
Andrew Marinus was on the show yesterday. His father's David Marinus. Obviously, two great authors. Andrew told me yesterday that the book on Perry Wallace, which the 10th edition, or the 10-year anniversary is coming up in a week, that took him 7 years to write. That's why I jumped at
No, this
9 months.
This was hard.
Wow.
So that's why I had to, it was really tough, because I wanted to have the females that were obviously the notables, the Layla Lees, the Billie Jean Kings.
Yeah.
But then I also and Danica Patrick. But then I also wanted some that maybe people didn't know, like Manon Rhéaume, the first female to be, the hockey player in NHL. Or to have a Jackie Joyner-Kersee that maybe people, the younger generation isn't aware of.
Yeah.
And some of these little hidden gems. But then I want, now looking, I want to do a volume 2 because I want Caitlin Clark. I want, there's so many. Becky Hammond, she wasn't available at the time. Jenny Finch, there are people who I couldn't get them at the time. So it wasn't really a lack of I didn't want them. It was just the timeline. And then I just had to go real quick. But there's so many.
Yeah.
Even Kayla Decky, her with all the gold medals. There's so many more women.
You could do another book.
Yeah.
It sounds
I
like,
think so.
It sounds like you're going to go down the path here and do it.
And I want to do Pat Summit, but I'm who would be the narrative for that? Because I was asking questions. So, of course, there's so many. And I was only able to do the 19. I actually had Sarah Thomas, who is the first NFL umpire, ref, and they wouldn't let her actually do it.
NFL. 'Cause she's current?
Yeah, because she had done, she was an umpire, and then she went to refereeing in NFL, and they said, since she's current, we can't let her do it.
And that is actually the next thing I wanted to jump to with this is this year, well, it's happened over the last couple of years, but this year it's become much more visible, and that is women working in the NFL in particular, both on the field, as part of the officiating crews, and also, of course, on the sidelines as coaches and position coaches and things like that. And, I think the audience is still trying to get used to it to a certain degree. Who is that? What are they doing?
Why? What's their background?
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you, as someone who's been in this world and kind of been in their position in a way, what are some of the things that they are dealing with, and some of the things that you've explored as far as their journey and how sports is changing, and the face of it, literally, the face of it is changing?
Yeah, it was tough in the beginning, especially for me because I was with the Lakers, which is such an iconic organization. And so in the beginning, I really was not comfortable like in my own skin. So I was putting my hair up like in a ball cap. I was wearing baggy like Jordans, and like I tried to like be like one of the boys. And Brian Shaw was one of our coaches, and he's like, why are you always wearing that? Why are you walking like me? And I'm like, because I need to like be like one of the boys. Because coming from my background, I just didn't want people to see the long hair, or being an attractive female in that situation. It's like I don't want to take away from that I'm credible and I know my stuff and I know how to talk about the triangle offense like that. I wanted people just to know me for my basketball knowledge, not anything else. So I really had a hard time in the beginning until someone in the Boston Globe wrote a real bad hit piece on me about me being a scout. And I remember Kobe was very close with me. He saw the article and he was like, I don't want you to read it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to read it. And then I read it.
You remember who it was?
And I was crying. Her name is Barb, is their first name.
Boston Globe. Okay.
Yeah.
There was writers from the Boston Globe that were there forever. That's the only reason I asked.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot her last name.
Okay.
And she told me to write a book. So here I am, Barb. I did write a book. Anyhow, but yeah. So Kobe just told me like that's how he played with like a chip on his shoulder. He goes, you want the naysayers. He goes, you want the doubters. You want the haters. He goes, because it'll fuel you. It'll give you that fire to like prove them wrong. And to this day, that's how I am.
Wow. And I imagine the same people and some of that same treatment is probably still out there.
Oh, yeah.
And some of that same energy that a lot of the coaches and referees and officials are still feeling that even to this moment, I would imagine.
Yeah, and you kind of just have to, like Kobe said, don't listen to the outside noise. Eventually people will understand that you're not there to like fill a spot or a quota. Like you actually are knowledgeable, you're talented, you deserve to be there, but that will come in time. But then with women, there's a female reporter, I won't say her name, but she mentioned that she doesn't really interview the coaches when she was doing the sideline. She would just make it up.
Yeah.
Now that sets us back, Justin, because now you've got people, if you look at the comments, what do the comments say? That's why we don't need sideline reports. That's why women shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
So it's anytime a woman does something that maybe, she was kidding or she was, just playing around because she was on, Barstool, but still it sets us back. And now we have to work extra hard. We always have to over prep. You can't say an athlete's last name wrong or you're crucified as a female. So those kind of things, I'm like, oh, she just set us back. And I like her, don't get me wrong. But do you see what I'm saying? Like things like that. And then you see all the men saying this is why females shouldn't be,
Yeah. What was that, Clarissa Thompson? That said that?
She said she wasn't going to say the name. Why are you trying to bring up the name?
It's public.
She said she wasn't going to. We have a guest. Why are you being like this?
It's for the listeners.
She said she didn't want to talk about the name because, she didn't want to be associated
Bonnie's
with
not. I said it. Darren. Not Bonnie.
I
said
apologize.
It. And by the way, you haven't confirmed or denied what I've found out there.
I want to apologize for the behavior here of Darren.
Justin, he said it though, right?
He did say it.
I said it.
So,
he did say it.
But so and there was another reporter during a Bucks presser where she asked a silly question about the weather.
The weather. Sure.
Do you remember this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Here we go. So it's like you look at the comments. That's why females shouldn't have a credential. That's why. So.
By the way, her name never, to my knowledge, remember?
I found out who it was.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I went looking for it for a little while.
We
and
never
could
find the name.
I found her.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
But anyhow, that doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not going to tell you, Darren, because then you're going to say her name. But
that's true.
I deserve that.
But that's what I'm talking about. Then if you look at the comments, it's all just about that females shouldn't be in there. When I'm in pressers all the time, there's a bunch of females that, cover other teams and they ask very good questions. So that's what's kind of wrong with
a lot of people ask really dumb questions, both men and women.
Well, we
from
know
what
that.
I've seen,
Yes.
I've been in 1,084 press conferences.
She knows that it'll get magnified.
Yes.
Just all you gotta do is spend a day on Twitter, and then you see
would you have played
all the
that,
stuff you're talking about.
Would you have played that hit if it was a guy who asked a
This
question
show
about
would
the
have,
hit?
yes.
About
This show would.
Okay.
We absolutely
This
would
show
have.
would.
We absolutely.
But there are
would
other
have played
shows that
that.
wouldn't, but we would.
Yeah.
We absolutely would have put that out
Okay.
there. Last thing for me, and you've got a lot of great names here, Mary Lou Retton and Layla Ali, and you mentioned them all here. Even Trish Stratus, I didn't see that.
Well, I put
right
her
here.
in there because it's WWE, it's sports,
Sure.
it is entertainment, but
Sure.
she has made a career, and I think it's important to see that. So I didn't want it just to be like you're just an athlete, but all the different entertainers or people that contribute to sports. So females can see, and the younger generation can see, there's a space for me. It may not be what I imagined, but this is, here's 19 women that showed some other roles that I didn't ever think of.
One of the most powerful people in sports in all of Nashville is a woman. And of course, that would be Amy Adams, the owner of the Tennessee Titans. And she is one of a few female owners across the National Football League. And of course, you worked for, a female owner yourself. Does that change the dynamic? Just knowing a woman is in charge of this operation. If I feel any kind of way, or if somebody says anything to me, or if I feel any kind of pressure, what does that do for your mindset? And what are we in for here as the future moves on here? And we imagine there'll be even more women in charge, and not just in charge, but owning sports teams.
Right. Yeah, because Jeannie Buss, and she won her first championship with the Lakers. I know there's an asterisk because it's 2020, but still, she won one, and it was tough for her because having her dad's legacy, she had a lot, big shoes to fill, and she gets it. If you look on Twitter, she's constantly, you're a basketball ops, you're the daughter, do you know what you're doing? And she's very good about delegating, so that's why I think it's the most important things. Yes, she's the owner and she's the president of business operations, not basketball operations. So she's really good at delegating, but she still gets all the heat, and it's tough. I think she'll always get that. I think any female's going to. I mean, just kind of, the cards that are out there, that just happens. But you're going to see more owners, if you look over now with the Mavericks, Cuban just sold to, and I forgot her name, but from Vegas, she's a casino, I think kind of like a Georgia Frontier. Like she's right? She was married to someone who owned a casino, I believe.
Yeah.
What is her name?
I'm drawing blank.
Adelson?
It'll come to me here.
Something Adelson. But anyhow, so now, Mark Cuban is passing it over to a female. So I don't know if as long as they delegate, I don't think it should be a problem. But if they're getting like a Jerry Jones where they want to run everything, and then there's a problem, right?
It's just different seeing, a woman hiring the woman, Amy Adams, hired the general manager. Then Amy Adams came in and hired the head coach, and she's there presenting. And it's a mind trick.
No, it is. When I was the assistant GM for our D League, which is now called the G League for the NBA, I was the assistant GM. They made me go there and cut players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, imagine me cutting players.
Cutting guys, who's 6'9" or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like a page out of Moneyball.
Yeah, and then you feel bad because that guy's also doing an extra 2 extra jobs, and he really needs this. And I know his story, and I've met his wife, his kids, and I'm like, oh wow, this is like Hard Knocks, like on steroids, because it's a lower level. They're not making as much money. They need this job. You're kind of crushing their dreams. Do you know what I mean? It's a whole different thing. So I always was like, I don't want to have to do this. Can I just do the contracts? We were doing like CBA, and I learned, so much when I was there, but they wanted me to really get a grasp of everything. And they're like, we're going to have you cut a player. So they had them come into my office, and I was like, oh God, I don't know how to do this.
Can I get this off my chest while you're in here, Bonnie? The Lakers thing that came out on Showtime, I was so disappointed.
Thank you. You didn't like it, right?
Gosh, I hated it.
Thank you. So do I.
I hated it.
Perfect.
I'm just telling you, I was so looking forward to that. I was so excited for that. And then once I started watching it and I got into it, I was like, this sucks.
Right.
It's awful.
Right.
I thought it was going to be real. I don't even know what was real and what wasn't.
No, and it was almost like they were trying to do the satire kind of feel. And I didn't like it because a lot of those people in that are my friends. So the way they depicted Jerry West, it made me really mad.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Buss, we all know he was into the young pretty girls, but they still didn't show what forward thinking was, what he did, how smart he was, and then the way with Magic and Chick Hearn, they made him look like he was a racist in the draft room. All that stuff bothered me because I know these people, and I just thought, if you don't, let's say you don't know anything about the sports, or let's just say you don't know anything about the Lakers, you're going to think that's true.
I know.
And so that Jerry West sued him.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, they made him look like
a psycho,
a jerk,
and a psychomaniac,
and a crazy man.
Yeah.
And
he is the smartest basketball genius ever.
No,
he's the logo. You don't talk bad about the logo,
right.
okay?
He's the logo.
I was really. I was so
disappointed, right? I only watched 1 or 2 because I didn't like it. That's how mad
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Or
I
Pat
gave
Riley.
up.
Did you like how they?
No.
Thank you.
And I'm a Kentucky guy, so I mean, I like Pat Riley.
Right.
And I was just real. I don't remember how far I went, but at some point I was like, I'm out.
And I believe there's a second season.
I'm way out.
There is, yeah.
Did you watch it?
No, I've never seen a single episode of.
You didn't miss anything, as you can tell.
I can tell.
On the way out. Did we?
Maybe I should watch just to see. Is it really this bad? Okay, I guess so.
Now he's going to want to watch it because we just
there's going to be a little bit of morbid
curiosity
on Justin's part to watch it.
Well, what happened?
In all seriousness, on the way out, if there ever was a book 2 on this subject matter, which you could easily do, in all seriousness, Justin, that's what I was going to bring up. There are two really, really good stories that you would consider.
Well, actually,
here.
he said 3 or 4.
Well,
I said 2.
Well, Amy as well. If you
Well, I guess if you include
Amy
her,
Adams
yes. Amy
Strong.
Adams,
Yeah.
Pat Summit, and
Pat Summit is
would be
Wilma
you'd have
Rudolph
to-
was the other more historical
Yes.
figure.
which I like that because the ones I talked about, hidden gems, people maybe don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you another one where you were just at last night. I don't know.
Predators?
Maybe you met her. Michelle Kennedy is now the president of the Predators.
Yeah, I actually did meet her, and
She's
I also
fantastic.
And I also met one of the other ladies who just got there. I think she's a.
I have not met her yet. She's brand new.
Yes. Do you know what
So,
I'm talking about?
Yes, I have not met her yet.
CFO, but she's another
Yes.
high executive.
Correct.
Right.
But Michelle Kennedy is now the president.
Yeah.
And she's been in the organization for a long time.
She has.
She played basketball at Vanderbilt. She's incredibly
So I
smart.
talked to her about
and
my
she's
book because she was
really
like,
cool.
She was like all on board because she
Yes.
loved all the different people in it. So I told her I was going to send her a book, and then she gave me her card, and she's like, "Let's keep in touch," because they're going to do a women in sports panel there, and they want me to come back.
100%. I'm not surprised.
Very
Michelle, she
Yeah.
gets it.
Very
And
cool.
She's been on the show. Did I not say that?
Yes.
I
Oh,
said
yes.
And
Michelle
she's sharp.
gets
She's
it.
on
yeah.
it. She's
oh, yeah.
great.
Oh, no, she's on it. No, she gets
100%.
it.
I was really impressed by her.
Very cool.
Bonnie Jill Laughlin has been in our studio in a league of her own, celebrating female first in sports. I'm assuming people can get this book.
Amazon,
Anywhere.
Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target.
There you go. Okay, you just heard. Great seeing you. Thanks for coming
thank
in.
you. That
Thank
was
you so much
fun.
for stopping
Next time
by.
I come to
Really
the Predators game, you got to come and open the doors with me.
We're way in.
Absolutely.
But if you're going to do that again, you need to up your game. You're going to need to either do the Zamboni
I know.
or, how about this, Bonnie?
What's the other one?
Go in the locker room and call out the names, the starters.
The little kids do
Read
that.
the- I
You
know,
come
read
see
the
that.
card.
Really cool.
Read the card.
Have you guys done that?
No.
I've never done that.
No.
Now, I've had the opportunity. Nash has taught me the knee slide across the
Oh,
ice.
what he does right in the beginning.
At
Yeah.
the beginning. Now, he didn't teach me the rappelling from the ceiling, and I don't know if
You
he's
don't
still
wanna
doing
do
that.
that, no.
But he taught me how to do the running start and the show slide with the knees, and all your knees across the ice there, which
did
was
you
really
do it?
cool. I absolutely did it
Oh,
on live
that's
TV. It was
cool.
wonderful.
I kind of want to do that. And there's
Yeah.
there's the guy with the flag too.
yeah.
There's a lot of things I can do.
So
Right.
I haven't done the door open thing, but I've done that, and so that was really cool.
I think we just made you a return trip to Nashville.
I know.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was fun though. I had such a blast. I haven't really had that much fun at a hockey game. I would have had a lot of fun there.
Well, it's kind of the place to be. And
Sounds
that's-
like she likes it and loves
they
it
get
and wants some
credit.
more of it.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at
Yeah, and
you.
then Tim McGraw, but I didn't know that was kind of cool too.
Man, I got a teardrop just now you doing that. Bonnie, great seeing you.
Thank
Thanks for
you
doing
so
this.
much. I had fun.
Bonnie Jill Laughlin in studio with us. Great stuff. Let's take a break. Wide open the rest of the hour if you want to get involved. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. More of the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
In a single moment, everything can change. When a player's sudden cardiac event brought a national football game to a halt, it shone a spotlight on the importance of CPR readiness. Now, with youth sports in full swing, the American Heart Association is rallying parents and coaches to be ready in an emergency. To be ready, learn hands-only CPR. It's a skill anyone can learn in minutes. Visit heart.org/hands-only-CPR and become a lifesaver today.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you ready for some March Madness? Then don't miss out on any of the action at the High Valley Conference Basketball Championship presented by United Fidelity as the return to the Ford Center downtown Evansville for March 6th through the 9th as the first entries into the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments are crowned. All session tickets and single game tickets are now on sale through each OVC school's ticket office, Ticketmaster, and the Ford Center box office. Visit ovcsports.com/Evansville for more details and be there to OVC it in person.
5-state forecast.
Your exclusive National Sports Radio WNSR Skyscan forecast. Today's going to be a cloudy day with showers. High temperature will be 52. Clouds tonight, scattered showers diminishing after midnight, low 46. Turns out mostly sunny for Saturday, high 66. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. Darren and Justin here live in the Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Bonnie Jill Laughlin. Good stuff from her. Appreciate her hanging out with us. Check out her book. It's a great story. By the way, NBA scout.
That is interesting.
Impressive.
Mm-hmm.
First and only NBA scout.
Yeah.
Female scout.
And
How
that's
about
going
that?
to change. She won't be the only for much longer. You know, the landscape of sports is changing and becoming way more diversified, and that includes not just, you know, the Black people, Latinos, whatever you want to call it, but, you know, it includes women. Women are going to be more and more involved in all aspects of sports moving forward. They just are. You know, it's going to be not too long, Darren, I think, before we'll see general managers and assistant general, you know, well, we had one there, but general managers in charge of professional sports teams who are women. I think that is coming in our, you know, next 10 years or so, I would think.
Eric has weighed in Columbia on our YouTube page. Was it called Winning Time? That didn't ring a bell. Okay.
That's it.
Eric, Earmuffs, he says, don't listen to Darren. He said Winning Time was good. He said he loved it. Oh, Eric.
As long as he loved the... Listen.
Come on.
It's fiction.
It was so bad.
It's fiction.
I know.
You know, if you're watching it for a documentary, it is not that. If you're watching it for entertainment, then maybe it's something a little different. Again, I'm saying this without having seen a single thing, so I don't know. I've seen like a 1-minute trailer.
Yeah, it was so bad. Fiction. Why would you? By the way, the storylines in that is so amazing. Why do fiction? Just do real, man.
Well,
do a documentary.
I think they were. Who knows what they were trying to accomplish here? I don't know. The answer is I don't know. Maybe because they feel like the fiction will be more entertaining than whatever the docudrama they can come up with of what really happened. You know, and then it ran amok. You know. You know, we did the movie Air, where we spoke to one of the people involved with that, and he confirmed to us everything we saw in the movie didn't actually happen.
Oh, Sonny Vaccaro.
Sonny Vaccaro. Everything that happened in Air that we saw in the movie did not actually happen.
Well, I understand that movies.
But,
yeah, remember the time. All these.
Remember the time. Yeah, all that didn't actually happen.
All these
happen.
movies like
yeah.
Rudy
didn't actually happen that way.
But everybody knows that, and that Hollywood is going to Hollywood up it a little bit.
Yeah,
you know.
But those were all real.
But it's still
things,
based on real stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
there's going to be stuff. Hollywood's going to add.
Like with the Rock did Ballers, you know, that was completely made up.
Yeah.
But, you know, these things, Rudy, there was a Rudy Rudiger. He
100%.
absolutely played in Notre Dame. It's a
Yes.
real thing. It happened. There was, the coach there for, remember the Titans, Herman Boone. There was a Herman Boone.
Yes.
He did coach high school football. It did happen in Virginia. It just didn't happen like that.
The movie Radio, Cuba Gooding Jr., that guy was real.
Okay.
It was based on a real story.
Now you're running into one I haven't seen, but that's okay.
What? By the way, this is going to be your punishment. If you get, if you lose a bet or you're kind of, being a little cantankerous during a show or something.
Cantankerous?
Yeah. Being a little bit,
You're going to make me watch Winning Time? Is that what you're going to make
We're
me
going to
do?
make you watch Winning Time. Thank you.
Is that where we're going?
We're going to make you watch Winning Time. Justin, for your behavior today, you, sir, must watch Winning Time. That would be your punishment.
Yikes. If it's as bad as you guys say.
Well, according to Eric, Eric, if Eric enjoyed it, that's fine. But I thought it was a pile of garbage.
Listen, if they went to a season 2, somebody somewhere enjoyed it. That's the way that goes.
I guess.
They wouldn't make a season 2 if it was just complete.
I know. They never make sequels.
Well,
that are.
They do,
because,
but, it's typically because there's a curiosity.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, they've made 10 Sharknadoes. What does that mean?
Well, how many Friday the 13th have they made?
Quite a few, but
Yeah.
people love those things.
Do they?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't find those people anymore.
Yeah, Jason.
Like initially, yes.
Yeah,
but,
people,
but like it.
Freddy Cougar, and then they merged the two, where Freddie fought Jason, didn't they? I mean,
Adam says that was good.
See?
What?
They're people.
Come on.
Let's go to break.
Let's go to break. We'll wrap up the first hour next.
Looking for something to take your mind off this traffic? How about a true story of instant success? Did you hear about the two friends who went grocery shopping in Ashland City and picked up everything on their list plus $75,000? Or the one where a truck driver made a last-minute stop off Interstate 40 and drove off with a cool $1 million? All their lives changed in an instant, and yours could too. So stop by your local retailer for your chance with instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, life-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
You enjoy the thrill of gambling, but what happens when it becomes a problem? Whether you want to cut back or quit gambling altogether, the Gambling Clinic has been helping people change their gambling for over 2 decades. We're here to help, not to judge. The Gambling Clinic is a Tennessee-based clinic offering in-person and telehealth support to help people win back their life. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Hey, it's John Burton from News Channel 5.
And it's Patton Cook from Nashville Sports Radio.
We are excited for our new show, JB and the General, every Monday through Friday right here on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Talking all things Titans, Nashville SC, Preds, anything you want, we can talk.
And we don't mind going off the beaten path once in a while as well. Again, that's every Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 right here on WNSR.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. It's our phone line and our text line. Darren and Justin here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Sitter studio. Adam Johnson is alongside for the ride. Hour number 2 just around the corner. We'll get into a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Titans break ground yesterday.
Yeah.
When you were making your way back to town.
Yeah. Saw some of that. 70,000 square foot rooftop bar going to be included now.
Okay, so they said it's going to be the largest rooftop bar, but it's not actually going to be on the roof, right? So how does this work?
It's just at the top of the building, I guess. So, I've only seen the concept drawing.
Right, looking at the renderings, I don't see a rooftop bar. So, is it on the outside?
I think it's on the inside. I think everything's on the inside, but I think it's on the inside with a balcony. All it has to do is be on the roof to be a rooftop bar. It does not have to be open air.
They could have doors to go to the outside?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be, open air for it to be a rooftop bar. It just has to be on top of the roof of the main building. I guess then the place you're in has a roof too. So, it's Nashville. We're making it up as we go along, okay?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. There's no rules right now. Somebody invented a cheesesteak one day, too. There was no such thing. They just invented it, and Philadelphia decided to let it go.
We'll figure out. Justin has a lot of things he wants to weigh in on.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't done it together this week, so we'll do that in the second hour. Plus, we can talk to you. More of the McFarland Show. Hour number 2 coming up next here on WNSR.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Fire crews are getting a break from those winds that have fueled this week's deadly wildfires in the Texas Panhandle. The Smokehouse Fire, now the state's largest on record, has charred through more than 1 million acres in cattle country. At a briefing, Governor Greg Abbott says the destruction to homes, livestock, and livelihoods is widespread.
Those who are affected by this have gone through utter devastation. They are going through challenges that others cannot comprehend.
The blaze so far blamed for at least 2 deaths. In Florida, a federal judge heard arguments today in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case involving former President Trump. His attorneys pushing for a trial start date after the election. Special counsel prosecutors want a trial date in July. The judge did not set a date yet. The CDC issuing new guidelines for COVID, saying people who get COVID with symptoms should isolate for 24 hours. This is ABC News.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Oh, righty there.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour rolling along, McFarland Show here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. You can watch the show every day on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Darren and Justin here with you. It looks like the Philadelphia Eagles are set to release one Kevin Byard. Didn't look like it ended up being a great fit.
No.
For him in Philadelphia.
Never looked comfortable at all. Didn't look like himself. Didn't look like the guy we've seen here over the last number of years. And not that he was having one of his best seasons when they let him go, but he looked even worse in Philadelphia. Just never found the right position there, even though he's playing the same position, but the scheme wasn't quite right for him.
And they got, what, a fifth and a sixth out of him?
Yeah.
So, good job.
Worked out.
By Rand Carthon.
Yeah, worked out in that case.
And I feel bad for Kevin Byard because he was doing a whole lot of losing here and went to Philadelphia, and everybody's like, "Oh man, congratulations, you're going to the Eagles." They're like 10-1, and then he gets there, and the wheels come off.
Yeah, and those promises he was made there by a certain wide receiver who used to be here, where things are different and all that.
Can I name him, or am I not?
You can if you want to, but I don't know if I wanted to name him.
Here I go again, AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
I did it. I named another name.
There you go.
Oh, we forgot to get the name of the Tampa reporter. Bonnie.
I didn't get it, but yes.
I want to know.
You want to know who that is?
I do want to know.
Okay.
I want to know.
I haven't looked at it.
It is weird that it didn't get out there.
Someone did a great job protecting whoever that was because it was going to get real foolish. Whoever it was going to get pummeled relentlessly. So, I'm not sure if it's good or bad that the name didn't get out.
I suspect a lot of Titans fans, I'm not sure, but I suspect will want Kevin Byard back. I said this yesterday when someone suggested Jonnu Smith because he was released by the Falcons, and I'm like, look, this team has turned over a new leaf. They've started a new book.
Cannot go back.
They're not adding chapters.
No.
They've started a new book.
Cannot go back.
And so this is not about, familiar faces and familiar places. No, this is about a whole new look completely in this market. We're about to embark on something we have never seen in 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
At least that's what their attempt is going to be.
It is.
Whether it ends up being that or not, it is a philosophy change.
Well, even if it's bad, Darren, it's going to be bad in a different way because we've seen the current way be bad too, a lot. But whatever it's going to be next year, it's going to be bad in a different way. It's not going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust bad. What are they doing? Running up the middle, getting stuffed. It's not going to be that kind of bad. It's going to be incomplete passes or interceptions or sacks, or it's going to look bad. If it's going to be bad, it's going to look bad in a different way. That's what I can promise you. If they continue to move along the path they're going on right now. And I listened to the press conference from a couple of days ago between Rand Carthen and Brian Callahan, and there are three things that stuck out to me. And I know. So, do we want to? Where do we want to go here?
We're wide open this hour. So we're here to talk.
615-844-5600 here on WNSR, the McFarland Show.
It's called Sports Talk Radio. So
it is
let's just
called
keep talking.
Sports Talk Radio. We can keep talking. So, three things stuck out to me.
Okay.
During the comments, especially from Brian Callahan.
Number one
is Derrick Henry is not coming back, and we knew that. We're running promos of you talking about that. We already knew Derrick Henry wasn't coming back, but the fact that Brian Callahan, as of 2 days ago, still had not spoken with Derrick Henry is all the indication that you need that Derrick Henry is not coming back. And something he said at the end of his comments there, I know Derrick will always have a warm place for Nashville in his heart, and he will always mean a whole lot to the organization.
And what is that? What is that statement?
Goodbye.
It's called past tense.
That's goodbye. That is called, we hope to see Derrick in another 6 to 7 years once he's retired, so we can retire his number
and honor him.
And honor him in the proper way, and we hope to see him in Canton at some point.
Yeah.
And that's what that says.
Yeah, it's past tense.
It's past tense. It's over. It's over.
I've been saying it from jump.
That is, we both have, and that is the number one thing that jumped out. Now we're hearing the language from the new head coach that he is not so. He's talking with Will Levis, and I understand Derrick Henry's not under contract. I got you. But still, if you thought Derrick Henry was going to be in your future plans, you would think that some communication would have been made. It's not like they can't talk. They can. They just haven't. There's a reason for that. All right, that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, Malik Willis is not going to be back on this football team.
Oh, so okay, I want to hear this.
So one of the things
as you can imagine, I brought it up to Steve Lehman because I did it the week prior.
Listen.
And I said, what did you make of his comments? What did that tell you about Malik Willis? So I want to hear your version.
One of the things that he says about what he looks for in quarterbacks are things that Malik Willis is not.
Okay.
The fact that he says, well, they have to be a fast decision maker, accurate, and tough. Now, I'm not going to question Malik Willis' toughness. I've seen him get hit and get up quite a bit. He's tough as nails. You're not going to catch me talking about, well, he's not very tough. He's plenty tough. Fast, making decisions, accurate. Not things he does very well right now that we've seen so far.
Yep.
So unless they're going to bring him in and completely retool him from the ground up, which I don't think they're going to do, he's gone. He is out of here. Now, whether or not they're going to trade him or just cut him, that is something that they're going to have to work out.
He's got no trade value.
So, therefore, I don't think he's going to be on this maybe practice squad at best. Maybe. But even he has no value in the practice squad because they're switching the offense anyway. So it's not like, oh, we can bring him in because he knows. Not this offense, he won't. He won't know this offense. So he has no value anymore on this football team because he does not do the things. Now, Brian Callahan acknowledged there are different ways to play quarterback in the NFL. That was the other thing he talked about. But the way he likes to play quarterback is for the quarterback to be a quick decision maker, accurate, and tough. So far, he is one of those three things, is Malik Willis, from the version of him that we've seen so far. If he wants to go somewhere else where they have a different philosophy, Baltimore perhaps, where they have mobile quarterbacks, Philadelphia perhaps, where they more welcome that, Seattle perhaps, where they welcome that as well.
Or if Chicago keeps Justin Fields.
Chicago
just got running backs or quarterbacks that just run.
Listen,
he'll
or
be
at
fine.
least more on the move, more running, more running style.
I shouldn't say just run.
No, because they do more than that. But
that's their strength.
It's a different style of quarterback. If you want to go there and do that, then you have to go to places that cater to who you are, and this is no longer one of those places. I'm not sure it ever was, but again, the person who drafted him is long gone at this point. So whatever vision that John Robinson had for Malik Willis, he took with him when they let him go. So now we never know. We will, and that's one of the things out of all the things I wanted to ask John Robinson. If I can ask John Robinson almost anything, and there's a lot to ask him, what were you thinking about when you drafted Malik Willis? Like, what was your vision for him? Because you wouldn't have drafted him in the third round for nothing.
Traded up to get him.
There was clearly a plan or something that you thought he was going to be, and I'm just curious what you thought that was. Did you think he was going to be the next Jalen Hurts or Russell Wilson or whatever? What were your thoughts when you drafted him? That's what I would want to know from John Robinson. and something we won't have a hard time figuring out. All right.
Okay. So before
Sure.
you go to 3, I brought this up to Steve Lehman, and I brought it up last week on the show. Or this week. I keep saying last week. This week. I keep thinking like you're back and
sure.
it's like a
It's
new
Monday.
week.
It's not.
It's a new week, yeah. I think, this is what I think, and you tell me if you agree or disagree, because I've heard others, since I've brought this up in this market, say things, and I've heard or bring up this topic, but then I'll tell you what they say, and I completely disagree with it.
That's good because I've been unplugged from the market.
Okay.
I've not heard any of this.
I said, I think it is time, and this market has done a great job. The Titans have done a great job of bringing in that guy that used to be the starter is now just at the back end of his career, and he is fine being the backup. And when needed, he's great. We saw Neil O'Donnell. We saw Kerry Collins.
Yes.
We saw Matt Hasselbeck. And also guys that can help groom the young guy.
Hey, going back further than that, who was the very first backup when the Titans got here?
Chris Chandler.
No. David Craig.
Yeah, Dave Craig. Okay. Yeah.
Another veteran guy.
Chandler was not a good example because
No.
he didn't want anything to do with mentoring Steve McNair.
No, but David Craig was here for the first, at least 98. I can't, maybe 97.
Was it 99? It was
No.
97 maybe?
97, 98.
Maybe
98 for sure. He was here.
Okay. I think that it would not be a bad idea at all, again, because you have your franchise quarterback going into his second year who could use all the help he can get, whether it's system, new offensive coordinator, new head coach, and maybe a veteran guy who's been there, done it, in that room that can help bring him along. I think it's time for the Titans to bring in another Neil O'Donnell, Kerry Collins, Matt Hasselbeck
Veteran.
type, Dave Craig. I don't have the answers to who that is.
Yeah.
But there's always that guy out there.
He's out there somewhere.
There's that guy out there.
He absolutely is.
So I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for him to be. Now, what I was going to say is when other people I've heard this week talk about that, they've said, you can't do that. Because what if he comes in and he takes Will Levis's job from him?
No.
Well,
let me tell you about the.
If
go
Will
ahead,
Levis loses his job to that quarterback, then you don't have your guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he's not better than that guy that used to be the starter, who's now relegated to the backup, who's at the back end of his career, and he loses out to him, well, guess what? I got bad news for this market. I got bad news for the Titans. You don't have your guy. Will Levis is not your guy. You cannot go into that going, hey, we can't get anybody too good because he may take Will Levis's job. No. If your backup quarterback is taking your starter in his second year, then you don't have the right guy.
Yeah.
You're going to be back in the quarterback market again. So I'm not worried about that because you can't worry about that. Okay? We still don't know what Will Levis is. But look, right now, it is his job and his job only.
Yeah.
Until he falls flat on his face, right? Until we all recognize or they recognize, well, crap, he's not good enough, because we've got to that point in this market over and over and over again. We know what it looks like.
Yeah.
We'll all know. I know.
We'll climb the stairs.
I promise you, I've said it over the years.
And we'll see flashes, and then...
Look, I spent many times telling this market Vince Young and Jake Locker and Marcus Mariota weren't the dudes, and I got ripped for it.
And by the way, 2 of those guys have playoff seasons.
Yeah.
With this team.
Yeah.
So just because they get to the playoffs doesn't mean that that's the guy.
But you know what's crazy is Jake Locker. People would come after me about Jake Locker. And I was like, folks, you're making this. This is not about being. It's not personal.
No.
Those guys were fine. I don't have anything against them. They were nice guys. I don't have anything against them. In fact, Jake Locker and Mariota were like 2 of the nicest people you ever meet.
Guys on the planet.
Yeah. Like it has nothing to do. We're talking about, are they good enough? Separate who they are and are they good enough? The answer is they're not good enough. So we know what that looks like in this market. But I'm just saying, if you're worried about the backup quarterback taking Will Levis's job, if you're worried about that, if the Titans are worried about that, then you don't have your guy. I'm not worried about that. I think they need to go get one of those types again and bring him in to serve as the backup.
Those people who are making the arguments that bringing in a quarterback would somehow endanger Will Levis's starting job are not being serious people. I'm calling them out right now. You're not. They don't believe that. They're just saying that to try and create conversation for their channel, show, whatever they're doing. They don't believe that. That's silly and on its face, and they know it, and they're just saying it because, because of whatever, because of fill in the blank reason. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous on its face, and really not even worth your time or my time getting into. You bring in a veteran, if that's the direction you want to go into, okay? Because there's only a couple of different directions here. Either you sign the veteran backup that you're talking about there, a guy who's on the back end of his prime, if not way past his prime maybe, and you're bringing him in just to be serviceable until Will Levis can get back from whatever the injury is, fine. You're bringing in that guy, or you're bringing in the young development type. Some guy you drafted maybe in the 4th round or something, that you saw something in, that you think could maybe be something, and then you try and develop him. You can bring in that guy. Or maybe another project guy that some other team has given up on, and you bring him in and says, you know what, he didn't work well there at all, but I got the right thing for him. If you just brought him in here, I can fix him and we can make him go. One of those guys is just trying to figure out whoever it is that you're going to bring in and what philosophy you have as a football team. But one thing is for sure, Will Levis is the starter. The Atlanta game, the Miami game last year solidified him as the starter until further notice. Unless he just comes out and just is a complete dumpster fire starting in August. And not even then. He can have 4 terrible preseason games and he would still be the starter in September. It's his team until he makes it painfully obvious that it's not his team.
He won't even play much in the preseason.
Probably not. And here's the other reason it's his team. Rand Carthen drafted him. That's his guy. Rand Carthen has just been promoted. So if you think if Rand Carthen moves on from Will Levis, oh boy, what does that say? What does that mean? Oh, no. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
All right, and point 3?
Point 3. They're going to running back by committee next year, because without Derrick Henry, and that's really sort of a tag to the Derrick Henry thing, they talked a lot about, Brian Callahan talked a lot about the fact that you are now delegating the running back responsibilities. Now, here's my thing about this. If you do that, if you bring in an Anvil who's your short down back, doesn't that make your play calling predictable depending on who you bring in the game as far as what they're going to do?
Possibly.
And that's the thing that concerns me a little bit. If you bring in the scat back for certain situations or the Anvil for other situations, then the defense go, oh, yeah, he's only in here to do the one thing. And it becomes specialized. It becomes like relief pitching in Major League Baseball. You bring in a guy, he's got a nasty curveball, but that's all he's got. Or you bring in a guy who's got a cutter, but that's all he's got. And so you kind of know what's coming, but it's situational there.
But if you have 2 productive backs, you can treat it like, the Dolphins did with Mostert and Shane.
That's ideal, but, you have to find that right mix.
Detroit used to, Philadelphia used to. I mean,
yeah.
Teams had productive backs, plural.
Yes, they did. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But to me, it became painfully obvious that they're not going back to a bell cow type of running back. They're going, so it's not going to be the Tajay Spears show exclusively next year. It is going to be Tajay Spears featuring fill in the blank.
1 and 1A.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back. More of the McFarland Show, 615-844-5600. If you want to get involved, more of the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, The financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, is a nationally renowned steakhouse specializing in the finest corn-fed Midwestern prime beef. The menu formula is simple: incredible meat, gigantic shrimp, fabulous salads, and decadent desserts. Start your experience at Bob's with the fried calamari or fresh scallops seared in Texas burnt honey. All the beef at Bob's Steak and Chop House are USDA prime cuts, from the traditional filet of tenderloin and ribeye to the adventurous Kansas City bone-in strip. They even have 2 different surf and turf options. And if you're looking for the other white meat, Bob's Steak and Chop House serves a dry-aged pork tomahawk with homemade applesauce. Fresh seafood is on the menu, from salmon to scampi, and even fresh lobster tail. For reservations, give them a call or log on to the Omni Nashville Hotel website. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Oh, beautiful Gold Rush with your sparkling top prize. You surely are a sight for sore eyes. And jackpot slots with your chance of $75,000 winners. Oh, how I'd take you for a candlelight dinner.
Sounds like people are really loving the new February instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Play today for your chance to win up to $5 million, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
It's a Bill King Show.
Like I've mentioned, I thought Nick had a good 5 years still left in it. This one comes as a complete shock to me. If I sat here and said, I had a feeling, guys, Nick was trending, I'd be lying. That'd be the host trying to act like he knew something he didn't know. Why would I present that to you? I am shocked. I was taken aback by it.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Honest opinions, genuine conversations. The McFarland Show.
A lot of action at the Combine up in Indianapolis today and all through the weekend. Let's start with former Vanderbilt / former Kentucky running back Ray Davis. Now, we're going to, we're not into that part yet where we're hot and heavy trying to figure out what round these guys are going, right?
No.
We're not there yet.
No.
They're going to go through the Combine, and then this stuff will start coming out, right? Like you'll start seeing draft boards heat up, like the mock drafts.
Yes, we will.
But they're going to wait till after the Combine. But Ray Davis today spoke about Vanderbilt, about Will Levis. So let's hear a little bit from Ray Davis today in Indianapolis.
I mean, it feels great. It feels great to be here. It's an honor. I got to talk to Nick throughout before the year even started, and to be able to tell him that I wanted to earn it. I wanted to earn everybody's respect. I wanted to earn to be here, and I think it's just a testament to my hard work and a testament to the people who've been in my corner in my journey. From my coaches to my support group, and to be in a room with a good room of running backs. And now this is my ability to showcase that I am the guy that everybody's going to get. I am the guy that everybody's talking about. Getting it out, being at Vanderbilt, you really do have to get it out the mud. You got to work about 10 times harder to when you're competing in games, and even Coach Lee being a first-year coach and him having to instill a new foundation in me was pretty good. And if I have an opportunity to go to the Titans, that'd be great. But having an opportunity to go anywhere would be amazing too. Can you talk about the I didn't really get a chance to play. I didn't get to play with Will, but I got to meet him a couple times, and his mindset and the way he attacks the game and just his grit and toughness. it'd be really cool to just be around him. You know, be around to be able to know to jump into a situation where now you're the starter a couple weeks into the season, and to have a great debut and be able to just go out there and keep working and keep trying to show everybody you are who you say you are. And, you know, it'd be great to just be able to be in a room with, be able to play with him. Even Tajay, you know, Tajay is a guy where he came from Tulane. Tulane at that time was a really good team, but, you know, it's an American. Nobody had respected the American back then, but they respect it now. So I know he has a huge chip on his shoulder, and to be in a room with that guy and learn from him and understand, you know, how he approaches the game each and every day, it'd be great.
So that was Ray Davis, former Vanderbilt and Kentucky running back, a heck of a running back in the SEC.
Yes.
He was very successful at Vanderbilt and even more successful at Kentucky. I mean, I can tell you right now, that game against Florida this past season in Lexington, I don't think I'll ever forget that game. I mean, he put on a clinic. What did he run for, like 300 yards?
Close to it.
And like 4 touchdowns?
I mean,
against Florida. I mean, he was insane.
Very spectacular player.
So would you rather see that other running back next to Tajay Spears as a guy like Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley or Tony Pollard or Austin Eckler or those free agent running backs, big name free agent running backs?
Yeah.
Or would you rather see them use yet another draft pick on a running back? And I say yet another because they had, who's the kid from Michigan that they drafted? Kid. I mean, they've been Hassan Haskins. I mean, they've been drafting running backs for several years in the mid rounds, later rounds. So, would you rather them use it? I think they have 8 draft picks, I believe. Would you rather them use another draft pick on a guy like Ray Davis and use him as the guy next to Tajay Spears, or would you rather get a more proven guy?
I'd rather get a more proven guy
too.
and somebody who's a little bit more versatile. Nothing against Ray Davis. Here's the problem with Ray Davis. He's 5'8", and 220. And, you know, in the NFL, you need to do something. Tajay Spears, for example, is spectacular. With the ball in his hand, especially in open space, he can do very special things. Quick feet, great acceleration, can catch the ball. Really tough runner. Ray Davis, from what I see, is sort of in the same mold as a lot of other Vanderbilt running backs that have come before him. Nothing wrong with those guys. The Zach Stacy's, and I'm missing one, another one that's right here almost on the tip of my tongue.
From who?
From Vanderbilt.
The guy that was with the Bucks.
Yes, who's named Zach Stacy already, but there was the
I
other
he's
guy.
Still on the Bucks, and I'm drawing blanks.
I'm drawing blank. But everybody knows who I'm talking about. It's the same sort of undersized hockey puck, anvil, bowling ball type of running back. Nothing against that. I just wonder if this offense is made for that kind of thing, and I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. So I'd rather have the Austin Eckler if Saquon Barkley is available. Heck yeah. Are you going to pay him? No, you're probably not going to pay him what he wants to be here, so I would say no. But I'd rather have one of those kind of proven guys here, opposed to a Ray Davis. That's me. That's my opinion. And again, I don't hate the guy. It's just how I feel. He ran a 4, from what I can see. Davis at the combine, believe he ran a 4.5 at the combine. On a 40 time, that doesn't jump off the page exactly. That's not lightning quick in the NFL at 4.5. That's good. That's average about. So what does he do especially well on the NFL level that is worth a draft pick for this football team? I don't see a fit.
The guy we're trying to think of is no longer on the Tampa Bay Bucks roster, so I'm drawing blanks. Kevin in Florida on our text line says Mettenberger was his favorite worst Titans quarterback. Yeah, they don't need to have Zach Mettenberger. They don't need it because he was like a 5th round pick. They don't need to. First of all, they don't need to draft one. They need to bring in a veteran guy.
Yeah. No, I
agree. He needs to be better than Zach Mettenberger.
And they will. Keyshawn Vaughn is who we're thinking about.
Keyshawn Vaughn, thank you.
Keyshawn Vaughn is who we're thinking about.
All right, let's go back up to Indianapolis. This is Rome Odunze, is the receiver from Washington who people love.
Mm-hmm.
And he is probably going to be a top 10 pick. Let's hear what he had to say in Indy today.
Yeah, no, the Titans was cool. I think that was one of my first meetings. So, going into it a little nervous, figuring out, how those meetings are gonna go. But good people as well. They were also very, very diligent, asked me all the good questions, making sure I knew what I was talking about. I feel like I probably impressed them, hopefully. So it was another good meeting. Definitely fit in there. I think that they got a good system going on. Got some good quarterbacks in the room, and it's something I could, help expand. My versatility on the field. I think I've shown all the skills that can translate to the NFL at a high level, in different facets of my game. And I think who I am as a person, who I will be to a locker room, who I'll be in a community, are all A+.
And what's your trump card specifically as a player, if there's a trait?
Trump card. I would just say how much of a student I am of the game. I'm always willing to learn, always willing to, understand that there's room for improvement regardless of where I'm at in my career. So
I think his trump card is his hands.
Yeah.
The guy catches anything that's close to him.
Boy.
Reminds me of Derek Mason. As in, if you threw the ball in Derek Mason's vicinity, he was going to catch it. Now, does that translate to the pros? I don't know. All I'm doing is going off of watching him in college.
Yeah.
The dude, if you are even close to his hands, he's going to catch it.
Yeah. He's intriguing.
He's a special talent for sure.
Very intriguing player. Here's the thing I wonder, and this honestly, Darren, is where I'm struggling, because I have understood for the last 25 years kind of what this football team is and what they're looking for. I know for a fact that, they would never, and there's no question that that some of the shorter receivers have been spectacular. Tyreek Hill, obviously, is a spectacular talent.
But Tyreek Hills don't grow on trees.
True. A couple of other guys who stick out, who would be wonderful. But shorter receivers is not who this team would have drafted. Now, Roman Zunze is 6'3".
Oh no, I'm not saying body type. I was talking about just the hands.
Oh no, I understand, and his hands are fantastic. I'm just saying that I'm having a hard time picturing, because we haven't had a season. I haven't seen him on the field. I don't know what this football team is going to look like. Before, I had a visual picture. Like Traylon Burks, A.J. Brown, look like Titans receivers that they have drafted in the past. Tyrone Calico, big, strong, huge frame. Justin Gage, big frame, could jump really high. Can block, can run block.
Justin Hunter.
That was a big thing. Justin Hunter. Run blocking was a big deal.
DGB.
Another great example. I don't know what this team is going to look like now, because all of that is out of here. All of it is gone. And something that Rand Carthen talked about a little bit, and even Brian Callahan in that press conference the other day, is the fact that they are asking they're asking their scouts to look for different types of players now. They've been spending all this time looking for players to fit into the old system, and now they've got a new system, and now they're asking their scouts to look at new players or new players to fit this scheme. So it's hard for me to picture, that looks like the kind of guy the Titans would draft, because the kind of guy the Titans would draft is changing now. So I'm very curious. Roman Zunze seems like a fantastic player. He certainly does. They also talked about the fact there's a lot of depth at wide receiver. So do you pass on a Josh Alt, for instance?
Joe Alt.
Excuse me. Joe Alt. Do you pass on a Joe Alt who looks like, a plug-and-play type of left tackle?
6'8".
Do you pass on him for Roma Zunze?
Like 350 or something silly.
I mean, based on what we've seen, I would draft Joe Alt if you gave me that option between Joe Alt and Roma Zunze. But who's going to make the bigger impact? Man, it's a tough call. I would draft Joe Alt, because the offensive line play has been so atrocious.
You know what I said all week while you were gone?
What'd you say?
Titans should draft a left tackle at 7th pick.
Yeah.
Is as tempting as it is with these receivers, is as tempting as it is with a Brock Bowers, this team needs to solidify the left side of their offensive line.
Yeah.
with Skoronski and whoever they identify as the next Brad Hopkins, Michael Roos, Taylor Lewan.
Yeah.
The luxury they've had, that spans about what? 25 years?
25 years or so.
Yeah. They need to find that next guy.
You can't keep going on like this. And if you're
it's
really,
not through free agency.
And by the way, we're still in the evaluation period for Will Levis, who's going into his second year.
And that's the other part.
So
you got to protect him.
If you want to find out what Will Levis really is,
you have to protect him.
You got to protect him.
Yep.
And that would equal a left tackle to me, as tempting as it is to go after a Roma Zunze.
And these receivers may be special. Get it. But they just you can have a weapon or weapons galore. If your guy can't stay upright, it doesn't matter.
Or healthy,
it doesn't matter. Another special guy.
Sure.
LSU receiver Malik Neighbors. He spoke today. Let's hear what he had to say.
I'm a dog, when that ball's in the air, it's mine. And when I get the ball in my hands, I'm able to do tremendous things with it, create space on different DBs, and able to make explosive plays downfield, take a 8-yard ride and turn it into a touchdown. I'm a dog, when that.
I would like for him, I think he lacks confidence. I would like for him to get some confidence.
You want to sit him in a room with the former Panthers wide receiver Steve Smith for a little while?
I just want
have them talk.
I just feel like he's a little timid.
Oh, listen, he seems like he's got the right attitude for it. The question is, again, is he that special that you're picking him at 7 over Joe Alt? For me, no. Now, I could look like a fool in 3 years, but I'm just saying the need is so bad at offensive tackle that you can probably find a wide receiver with a little dog a little bit later. But these offensive listen, we've talked to NFL experts from across the spectrum, college football guys from across the spectrum. Why are teams having such a hard time finding offensive linemen? Because the Titans aren't the only ones. Well, because you're looking for a very special, rare kind of athlete, and they don't grow everywhere. The Titans have tried for 2 years to fit the offensive line spot with guys from the street, other
retreads.
It hasn't worked. You got to just go after the guy, whoever the guy is, and apparently you got to get him in round 1. Yeah. I would draft, as tempting as all of this sounds, I would draft the offensive tackle.
Now,
that's boring.
No, it's not. It's not if you get it right. It's not. Ask the Detroit Lions with Penei Sewell. And people said, what are you doing? You passed on so-and-so. Yeah. How's that worked out? Worked out quite well.
Yeah.
Jared Goff thanks him probably every day. So if you get it right, it can be boring all you want, but it can change your franchise.
This sounds like the debate between, do you take a Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell? Both of them ended up being spectacular players.
Both of them were home runs.
But which one do you need most on your football team? Which one makes the bigger difference? And that's the hard part. That's the time. That's for me is going to take more examination.
The Bengals got to the Super Bowl with Jamar Chase.
They did.
And the Lions got to the NFC Championship game with Penei Sewell. So they were both there. It was win-win.
Yeah.
It's win-win. Now, a lot of people think that this guy, look, they're not all going to go in the first round. This is a guy that people think, and again, this will start shaping up more. We're still very early. It's the first day of March. But a guy like Keon Coleman, Florida State receiver, maybe this is a guy that's hanging around with that top pick in the second round, that early second round pick that the Titans have. Maybe a guy like Keon Coleman, this guy could be their pick.
You think planes are real?
Plane?
Yeah. What you mean, like how do they fly?
An airplane?
Yeah.
The engine, they have controls like a big car, just wings.
You think birds are real?
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them.
You ever seen a baby pigeon?
Nope.
That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you, man.
The pigeons don't be in Louisiana, I'm sorry.
I'm sold. That's who they should take.
What was that?
I'm not sure.
What are we talking about?
My apologies.
What just happened?
Yeah, my apologies.
Was that a clip from Showtime? Was that what that was?
That was from Winning Time.
From Winning Time? Is that what that was?
A clip from Winning Time.
You're right, because if
I told you.
If that's it, then that's awful.
Yeah, told you.
That's awful.
The Lakers didn't see baby pigeons either.
You know, now I've been to New Orleans and I've been down to Bourbon Street. I'm pretty sure I've seen some pigeons down there.
I've seen a lot of pigeons.
So, I know
Bourbon
he says
Street.
he's from Louisiana and all that, but I'm just saying, if you haven't seen pigeons in Louisiana, I don't know what part of Louisiana you've been to. I've been down and,
I've seen poop on Bourbon Street. I have.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's pigeon. I don't know if it's pigeon.
I'm going to stop there. This is the part where Darren ventures way too far into the pool, and I stop right here. If you want to go swimming down the deep end, that's cool with me. I'm going to stay right over here.
Don't you miss these interactions?
I'm going to stay right here. Now, you want to go down? Go for it.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Listen, somebody's going to be here to call 911, okay? You'll be glad I was here when something happens.
Look, I told Bonnie Jill Laughlin, she was in the studio with us last hour. I covered that Super Bowl in 2012. That was in New Orleans. 49ers, Ravens. I saw Bourbon Street.
Yeah. And
I'd made other trips to New Orleans. I covered national championship games in New Orleans. I saw Bourbon Street.
There's a lot to see on Bourbon Street.
There's a lot to see.
Pigeons, it's easy to reason why you may have missed the pigeons if you were on Bourbon Street, because there's so many other things to see.
Yeah.
But we should probably stop there.
Okay, let's take a break. This is a good time for a break.
Yes, it is.
615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. More of the McFarland Show next year on WNSR.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro, with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
Attention business owners. WNSR has some exciting opportunities for your business to thrive in the dynamic world of sports radio advertising. As the proud home of some of your favorite sports teams like the Atlanta Braves, Memphis Grizzlies, and more, we understand the power of sports in bringing people together and creating a passionate community. We believe that your business can become an integral part of this experience, reaching a diverse and engaged audience. Contact the WNSR sales team for an opportunity to discuss how Nashville's sports radio can elevate your brand to new heights. Whether you're interested in a specific sponsorship package or would like a customized solution, we are here to meet your advertising needs. Call 615-844-1039. 615-844-1039 or email saleswnsr@gmail.com. That's saleswnsr@gmail.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No, it's super fast and easy, and I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code LIFT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFT.
Buyandtow.com. Get cash for junk cars. You have a vehicle that's become a problem? You can get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. They'll buy your vehicle no matter the condition, in your driveway, at your mechanic shop, or even on the side of the road. You can call them at 615-480-6473 or visit buyandtow.com. Get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. 615-480-6473, buyandtow.com. That's buyandtow.com.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Patrick Mahomes, he's in the GOAT conversation with this win. I'm calling him Michael Jordan, essentially, because he's taking other people's rings. There's no shame in losing to Patrick Mahomes. He's that good. If you just got bested by Patrick Mahomes, He just got bested by Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes, GOAT level kind of guy.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNS.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
It's true. 615-844-5600. Darren and Justin live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Adam Johnson is alongside. Had a lot of fun today. Predators are going to try to make it 8 in a row tomorrow as they host the Avalanche. They're in town. Colorado coming to town. Predators are on a heater. They've won 7 in a row. They haven't lost since you were away.
I've noticed.
You know?
I've been watching, the scoreboard a little bit when I can. And I've noticed, oh, they won. Okay, cool. Oh, they won. Okay, cool. But they won again. Mm-hmm. Jeez. What is going on?
They've actually been winning in dominant fashion. Not that it matters. You don't get extra points for that.
No, you don't.
But it's not like these are all 3-2 overtime victories.
Mm-hmm.
No, they've actually been dominating in these 7 games. So obviously something has changed. The switch has changed. I would say getting spanked by Dallas and embarrassed, then embarrassed by the general manager and Barry Trotz, because this is just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against Andrew Burnett.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of Barry Trotz. Okay, Barry Trotz. And that's fine. Andrew Burnett is his hire. Andrew Burnett doesn't have much experience as a head coach. Barry Trotz has a quarter of a century as a head coach in the NHL.
He does.
And he's a general manager now.
He is.
And that's his first hire. And he wants the organization and the team to succeed. He wants his hire to succeed. And this was a Barry Trotz play, and it worked. It could have gone the other way, but it has worked. It has sparked this team.
Mm-hmm.
It has now given them an edge. It's now given them a jolt that they clearly needed, because they were just a team of win 2, win, lose 2, win 1, lose 1, win
500.
1.
Yeah.
They're just a 500 team.
They're 9 games over 500 now.
Yeah.
9 games over 500. Now, this is one I want to point out, Darren, and this goes back to something you said last year that I want to give you full credit for. As you know, I've been on what I call my hockey journey here, which I've come a long way compared to where I was show 1. But is the scoring factor here. And this team did not score a lot of goals last year, which is part of the reason they had the problem. And earlier this year, when they were losing games, they didn't score a lot of goals. And I think I mentioned the last time I saw you was talking about the Kings game they were getting ready to go into. And I said, even if they lost 6-4, that would be good for this team, just to put points on the board. Well, during this win streak, starting back with their first win over St. Louis, 5-2, 5-3, 4-1, 4-2, 4-2, 4-1, 6-1. All the games, they've scored nothing less than 4 goals.
4 or more goals.
In every single game. As a matter of fact, their last loss was the 9-2. Lost before that, 4-2. Lost before that, 4-2. Lost before that, 4-3. Lost before that, 4-1. What does that say? And I keep scrolling back.
3 goals or less.
3 goals or less. You have to go all the way back here for their last loss against Anaheim. And they don't have dates next to the game that I'm looking at, but they lost the game 5-3 to Anaheim. That was the last game they lost, where they scored, basically 3 goals there. I mean, that seems to be the magic number. If this team gets to 4, it seems like they're winning games.
Yeah.
And that is, now that's not easy, but they've been putting it together here over the last few weeks, which is, I just find it interesting. I just find it interesting if you can match the numbers here.
Well, the good news is they're going to need, I don't know if it's the good news. The news along those lines is they're going to need 4 more goals tomorrow to beat Colorado. You're not beating Colorado 2-1. Sorry.
Well, they haven't beat anybody 2-1.
You're going to need 4 more goals tomorrow to beat Colorado. But I will say right now it's a 7 games, okay? And look, and most teams have a stretch like this in an 82-game season. It just happens.
Yeah.
But what's been impressive is they're scoring goals, as you just mentioned, and their defense has gotten way better.
Mm-hmm.
They're locking things down.
Yeah.
What they did the other night, Ottawa didn't have a shot in the third period. They outshot them 18-0.
That's dominant.
That's dominating.
It's dominant.
18-0 in the third period.
I guess they're no longer thinking about vacation.
Guess not. Like I said, it's an interesting strategy. It's not the first time it's ever happened. It won't be the last time, but it doesn't always work because it's a fork in the road. And it's either you're gonna come together and it's gonna be the jolt your room needed, and you're gonna put together a big winning streak, and that's exactly what they've done. That's one side of the fork.
Yeah.
The other fork is they thumb their nose at you and they're like, whatever, dude. And they just continue going down that path of loneliness.
Yeah.
It's a dark, lonely road. Most of it's not paved. Some of it's dirt and gravel.
Yeah.
And some of it's off-roading. There's no lights. It's not a path you want to go down. But it doesn't always work. This one has worked.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, with how many games left? 21, 22?
34
like that?
and 25. So
What are they? 34?
34 and 25. So that's
59?
59 games.
So 23?
Yeah. 22.
23?
Yeah, 23.
23 games?
Yeah. 82 minus
So
59
23
is 23
games.
23.
Question is, what is this? A week from today is the trade deadline.
It is.
So what does that mean? And how long can they keep this up? Because there was a time, if they keep winning games, there was a time.
Yeah.
Well, the time was the entire season.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in the last, let's just say the last month, you looked at the standings and said, okay, the winner of the division and seeds 2 and 3 in the Central, they're already determined. The teams.
Yeah.
No particular order.
Yeah.
But the teams are
The
set.
separation was
You're now just
glaring.
playing for a wild card spot.
Yeah.
You
Just
can't
playing
get in there.
proceeding, yeah.
You can't get in there.
Yeah.
Well, you win 7 in a row and you get 14 points in your last 7 games.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now wait a minute. We got company.
Well.
Now they're in the discussion.
Yeah, but they've won 7 games in a row and they're still the 8th seed.
Yeah. Right. Right. Which tells you a lot. Yes. All right, let's take our final break, come back and put a bow on today and the week. We'll do the next.
Hi, I'm Jeff Fisher. Guess what? The Cats are back. The Nashville Cats will be returning to the Municipal Auditorium on April 27th in the season opener against the Minnesota Myth. There will be 5 total games played at Municipal Auditorium with 1 additional game played up in Clarksville at F&M Bank Arena on Armed Forces Day on Saturday, May 18th. For player or dance team tryouts or tickets, log on to thenashvillecats.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. It's starleasing.com to learn more. Are you ready for some March Madness? Then don't miss out on any of the action at the High Valley Conference Basketball Championship presented by United Fidelity as the return to the Ford Center downtown Evansville for March 6th through the 9th as the first entries into the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments are crowned. All session tickets and single game tickets are now on sale through each OVC school's ticket office, Ticketmaster, and the Ford Center box office. Visit ovcsports.com/Evansville for more details and be there to OVC it in person.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Some SEC college basketball games. Remember, the SEC tournament will be in our town very, very soon.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
To start off the day on ESPN, it'll be Florida at South Carolina.
Interesting.
That will be a good one. Florida's been red hot.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina had a little bit of a dip, but they've been coming back, started winning again.
Mm-hmm.
They're 23-5 on the year. This
And
team
unranked.
was picked. No, they're 18th.
Are they 18 now?
Yeah, they were picked dead last in the conference.
Okay.
They're 18th in the country. They're 23-5.
They were unranked for a really long time with that record,
Yeah.
which made me. I was like, "What's up with that?"
Yep.
But anyway,
LSU will be in town to take on Vanderbilt at 2:30. That game will be seen on SEC Network. We'll see if Vanderbilt can string together another win.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Gotta win.
Mississippi State at Auburn at 3 o'clock on ESPN2. That'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the big one Saturday night, ESPN, 7 o'clock our time, Tennessee down in Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama. And this could be for the
number
top
one seed. The number one seed.
This could be for the top
Tennessee
seed
wins this game.
here.
They are if Tennessee wins this game, not only do I think they're the number one seed here, I think they're a number one seed in the tourney.
I agree.
In the big dance, in the field of 68.
Yeah.
If they win this game, they
But
take care of business.
There's still 2 more games after that.
Yeah.
And then the SEC tournament. So we'll see.
Yeah, but they just,
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. We look forward to talking to you Monday at 2 o'clock. We shall see you then.